So back here with Jennifer and Tabitha, let's move on and talk about a couple things I actually missed last week because there was so much news I didn't get a chance to talk about them. So first of all, um, last Thursday, Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita sued Indianapolis Public Schools, accusing the state's largest public school district of thwarting federal immigration enforcement. Now, state law blocks local government entities, including school districts, from limiting cooperation or interfering with U.S. immigrations and custom enforcement and other agencies. This lawsuit seeks an injunction preventing IPS from enforcing its policies. Now, this week, Black clergy came together to decry the suit, calling it political theater and questioning the AG's use of tax dollars. 5 IPS commissioners and several top administrators, including Superintendent Aleesia Johnson, also attended and joined the faith leaders in prayer. Now, listen, Jennifer, I know the state law says school districts can't thwart immigrations and custom enforcement, but I mean, like, they have an obligation to not let random masked dudes without without identification come onto their campuses, don't they? Oh, you're muted.
Exactly. What would happen if somebody came in and they had ill intentions worse than dragging people out in front of their children and other people in the school? It's not a good deal either way.
Yeah, I mean, any schmuck can go into a military surplus store and buy some stuff that says, "Hey, it looks like I'm in ICE. Let me have access to your school to do God knows what." I don't see any way that they can safely and responsibly enforce this. Do you, Tabitha?
Oh man, these are children. I think that is my biggest thing right there. I've already had a conversation with the ABA school that my kids attend in advance of some of these ICE raids and just said, hey, what kind of policy do you guys have for people coming to the school, removing children or whatever? I don't think this is a race thing. I think this is a parent and educator thing, because those of us that have children in schools, period, any kind of school, I think would mostly agree that it would not be good for any of the kids, any of the staff to have armed anyone inside with the educators or the children when, like, our teachers aren't armed. And there's a reason for that sort of thing. We should be protecting the education process as well.
Tabitha, what did the school say? I'm curious what they said.
They didn't really have the answer that I wanted, because my thought was, if some very aggressive people show up in fatigues, and look, I've got a lot of military people in my family, so that's where this is coming from. And I had some conversations with some people that I know, and my area, like I said, very red. There are a lot of hunters, a lot of ex-military people that have a lot of firepower, period. And even these people were like, oh no, like, this is no bueno. Like, there is no situation. There's no situation where this is going to play out well. And then, because it's unchecked, right? Like, these people don't really answer to anyone. So let's say they roll up on some school and they're just going to take all the teachers, all the kids. To where and in what capacity? And we're seeing that all over the place right now. How are people going to be able to track down their kids after the point? I mean, I just think this is just very basic stuff that we have lawmakers right now that maybe they don't have children in schools right now. Maybe their grandkids are, maybe they aren't, but they're not looking at it from that sort of connection of, oh, what would happen to my child or my grandchild or the other kids in the community? Not to mention, mental health, like Jennifer was talking about. All these kids that are traumatized for their entire lives, that no longer trust police, military, their educators, because I've seen some videos of educators letting ICE into their classroom. There has to be a line somewhere. It's like, are you part of ICE? Are you part of the military? Are you part of the police? Are you their teacher? Are you supposed to protect them?
And that's just another trauma to add on these kids. You worry about a shooter coming into the school. Now you have to worry about people in your own community, in your own government coming to school. And these can happen at any time, even if they're not there to get you, right? That's just still a very disturbing and traumatic thing.
Yeah, what about your friend that's your brown friend that they take, or, here you guys have been classmates for years, you're friendly, and all of a sudden you see these grown men or grown women, right, that aren't kids, even for these kids that are maybe a little bit bigger, they're teenagers or what have you, they're still children. And you see these grown-ups come in and manhandle these other kids your age. Like, you see videos of it all the time online right now where these kids are just bawling. They're so traumatized already, and they're already seeing all this stuff online. To see that in person, in the flesh, like, we're just doing so many injustices right now. I don't even know how anyone that has any sort of like sane mental capacity right now can say some stupid shit like that.
Well, and
it's monstrous.
Yeah, it's monstrous.
And yeah, and Rokita is a ghoul. Like this guy, absolutely terrible. Jennifer, I was going to move on. Did you have one closing thing to say?
Well, I just think the message also that it sends to these children and their families and brown families everywhere, it sends to them that doesn't matter, you are not, you're not welcome here. And it also, in taking a group of people like that, all across the country and targeting them doesn't really help to show that the ones that are here legally, people that are born here, that they are a part of our community. And it's just another attempt to discredit people that are different than the ruling class, people, black and brown people that don't have money. It just tries to keep them down in society in the way that other people look at them.
Yeah, it absolutely terrible. And then, that's just the human element of this. But you also have the element where you're seeing the state stick its nose into individual school districts, as they always do, the continuing war on K through 12 education, and as our other story that I missed last week, are the continuing war on higher education.